So, it happened. Acura announced last week that production was ending for the TLX effective as of July 31st. And, I had to sit with it for a week and try to understand how a sedan with the turbo engine and the sleek styling, the one that reintroduced everyone to the Type S badge, meet this fate. It's sad to see, but the writing was on the wall, and it had been for some time. So, I want to talk about what went wrong and why the TLX never really got love from the masses. And so, for those that don't know, the TLX nameplate came out in 2015, being the culmination of the TL and TSX. Acura's way of simplifying the lineup at the time. One sedan to do it all, pretty much. And for a while, it was a decent and solid premium luxury commuter car. Didn't look bad, didn't look too good either. And it was only in 2021 when they decided to turn the heat up. They brought back John Akita. I'm butchering the name, but they brought him back to redesign the next generation TLX, which was a longer, lower, wider, more aggressive appearing sedan. And they pretty much brought back all the things that makes a sedan sporty. The double wishbone front suspension, turbo 4, and then they announced that there was a Type S version coming with a 3-liter turbo V6 and all-wheel drive standard. And many Acura enthusiasts, me included, around the time felt like Acura was getting serious again. And it became one of the most anticipated sports sedans of that year, 2021. However, I believe the anticipation and hype began to dissipate and waver once Acura finally dropped the spec sheet for the car, and more specifically the Type S model. And nobody really expected the base model to be more than 300 horsepower. Nobody was really paying attention to it. I mean, it was sporty in its own right, but because there was a Type S version coming, everybody was focused on what the Type S version was going to bring to the table in the sea of sports sedans that were coming out at the time. However, learning that a turbocharged V6 was only going to be making a modest 355 horsepower and about 354 foot-pounds of torque in a car that weighed over 4,000 pounds was not what car enthusiasts and Acura enthusiasts alike were expecting. And it was one of those things where, yet again, Acura was playing it safe on the performance, but pitting it against formidable sports sedans such as the Audi S4, the Cadillac CT4V, and of course, the Meta car, BMW M340i. With those glaring issues at hand, those weren't the only things that you could say held the car back. Debuting the car in the pandemic era of the auto market didn't help either, where markups were abound everywhere. And on top of that, with every passing year, they would gradually increase the MSRP of the TLX to the point where the Type S model was now borderline $60,000 before you even factored in your taxes and other out-the-door fees. And by the time we got to the middle of 2024, the TLX A-Spec was hovering really close to $50K. When you look back in 2021, the Type S model was close to 50K at around, it debuted at about 53K. So it was just, they were further pricing it out of most people's consideration. And this is barring that the potential buyer wasn't already dead set on getting an SUV, which was one of the other big reasons why the TLX didn't really catch on with the general public. It had BMW 5 Series exterior proportions. I know you guys heard that before, with 3 Series interior sizing. So practicality wasn't really there for most Acura buyers. And just this, among other things, just led to poor sales that became more and more apparent, notably after the 2023 model year. So in typical Acura fashion, they started to simplify the model by deleting and removing certain trims from production and breaking it down to just 3 trims, where you can only get Tech, A-Spec, and Type S, where before you could get Tech, Base, A-Spec, Advanced, and Type S. And outside of that, they slowed the production down during the 2024 refresh to make EVs that nobody asked for or is really buying, other than to get out of a negative equity situation that they may have haphazardly put themselves in. So that contributed to the already low sales in the later half of the production run, thus bringing us to today, where the TLX is now discontinued, and 2025 is the last model year. No final edition besides the PMC edition that came out 2 years prior, just before the refresh, which I felt was odd since the first generation TLX got the PMC in its last production year before the next gen debuted. So I figured that they would be doing the same thing with the second one. But for some reason, they did the PMC run in the middle of the production run. I still quite don't understand that. However, production ending so abruptly as of today, the 31st of July, is quite on brand for Acura. And now that the TLX is pretty much gone, Acura is going to go all in on SUVs and electrification with the new ADX that has just came out, and this new RSX that is supposed to be some crossover coupe of sorts. That I guess is going to be an EV or whatever. So ultimately, the TLX wasn't the perfect sports sedan. And I would like to think that I speak for most of us when I say that in the Type S model, Acura could have came to the table with more horsepower. I mean, if you're going to pitch your car up against formidable German brands, you would think that you would need to come to the table with at least 300, because I'm trying to think right now, but like at least 380 something horsepower, somewhere around that, especially weighing 4,000 pounds. You know, power to rate ratio is a real thing, Acura, and it has to match. And 4,000 pounds, making only 355 horsepower. Sure, with the all-wheel drive, I will say that the weight kind of hides itself well. But there are instances where you can feel that weight. And having at least 380 or 400 horsepower would have definitely kept it quite competitive with the German brands while undercutting. But again, you can't have everything, I suppose, when it comes to Acura. But, Acura did give us enthusiasts hope that the brand hadn't forgotten its roots that brought them to where they are now, and that there was still room for a fun sports sedan in a world obsessed with SUVs. So, yeah. In any case, I've decided that I will keep my Type S for a while. If you are a subscriber to my channel, you know that I was thinking about getting rid of my TLX Type S. And I had really been kind of toying with the idea and thinking about it seriously, like if I wanted to keep it or not. And I've decided that I'm going to keep it for a while longer, and I'm going to get into some mods and kind of like experience the car the way it should have left from factory, so to say. And I have TLX Mile to thank for that. Some of you guys probably know him. He has the Type S that has the sauce, so to say. And he kind of inspired me to hold on to the car, do some mods, have some fun with it, and rock out, So I'm going to be getting into that, and I'll have another video coming doing my first mod. I'm excited, and I definitely want to share it with you guys. So stay tuned for that. What else can I say? I mean, if you own a TLX Type S, I say keep it for as long as you love the car. Even if you don't have a Type S or you have an A-Spec, keep it for as long as you love the car. And if you're thinking of grabbing a used TLX Type S or one of the remaining new models, I say do it now, or do it soon rather, as these will become increasingly rare to find as time goes on. Thanks for watching, guys, and let me know your thoughts on this news. If you own a TLX or not, how do you feel about it? And don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Marco out.